and then have it be a clickable like link in a way. But then once you clicked it, it would link you to the file on my computer. But for like a solid year, I had to edit for someone, and they didn't pay me anything. And I had to and it was like videos every single day, sometimes multiple a day, and didn't pay me anything whatsoever. It was all free. But it was able to grow my portfolio strong enough to get the editing jobs that I had now.
But it didn't even really come to the MCC show either. He was just walking around the floor and networking and whatever, so...
Alright lads, welcome back to InsideMC. Today, I'm joined with the amazing Toony Studios.
Hello, how are we doing? Hello.
Thank you for having me on. Correct, right?
Yes, you have. Toony Studios.
Am I good to call you Toony throughout the podcast, or do I have to full name you the entire time?
Yes, no, of course. You can call me Toony, you can call me Shiloh, which is my real name. It's whatever you prefer.
That's a cool real name. I like that.
Thank you, I appreciate
Shiloh,
that. Yeah, I usually get Tony. Everyone always calls me Tony. No clue why. There's clearly two O's, but whatever.
Probably could be shorten it, assuming your first, or like your AR name is Tony, based on Toony.
True.
But I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, the origin of Toony. I'm doing very good. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Just vibing. The MTC Bedrock collab got released today, so that's exciting. I don't know how much I'm gonna play it, but I'm interested to see it. And then, but I was watching it a little bit before we hit go live, and by that I mean for the last 18 minutes because it only just released. The point is, right? The point is, we're gonna cook today. The podcast is gonna be amazing, and I'm very, very looking forward to talking to you.
Oh yes, I'm as well. It's my first podcast. I'm excited, and yeah.
So, before we get into the rest of this, I always like to give the intro for you to let us know who you are. Who are you? What do you do? If you have a fun fact for us today, feel free to share.
Ooh, okay. Alright, so I am Toony Studios. I am 16. I've been creating content for about 3 years now, if I'm not mistaken. I started creating content when I was very young. I started creating like vlogs. I still remember like a very, very bad GoPro, very shitty GoPro. And I started editing it when I was like, I assume like 10, like at an extremely young age. And so ever since then, I've just kept editing because I'm currently doing streaming, YouTube, and then I also do video editing. And so it kind of started out as me being younger, editing like GoPro vlogs, and then it kind of faded in after like a few years into my main job. So now I'm a video editor and content creator. So yeah.
How long have you been, I guess, like up to your start? Obviously you're constantly improving, but how long have you been as like a full-time job, or that you can confidently tell people that you're an editor?
I would say the last 2 years have been really like when it became like a hobby into like a job.
Oh, okay. And then before that, you were just doing it bits here and there? Yeah,
bits here and there, editing some things for friends. You know, sometimes there was a gig for like a few dollars, but it was never really enough to be like, okay, this is real now, you know, this is a job now.
Exactly. I guess to get started then, I keep the format going here. How did the name Toony Studio come to be?
Ooh, okay. So a few years ago, I always wanted to start an animation studio. I always wanted to create like animations, short form, what's it called? Like the things where you put like the pictures after each other, stop motion things.
Yeah.
And so I was always inspired. I always liked watching Disney movies, Pixar movies. I always loved like watching cartoons and like drawing as well. I've been on a drawing academy for 10 years as well. And so the name was basically stemmed from cartoon, and then removed the first two letters and had Toon, and then eventually added on the Y to make it sound a little bit more poppy, a little bit more fun, than Toony, and then Studios. But I only created like one animation and then realized it went terrible, and then I never created an animation ever since, but the name stuck with me, so yeah.
At least the name is very, like, the name origin is very similar to Radoon's as well. Like his
really? What's his name origin?
As well, or the idea.
Oh really?
Yeah, like cartoons and then reworded a little bit. So it's kind of crazy to talk to two different people with the same like name origin, but two completely different results from it.
That's sick. Yeah. I mean, I was always fascinated by cartoons. I'm a Disney freak. I always loved watching cartoons and making like drawings of certain cartoons. So that's where the name kind of stemmed off from.
You mentioned about how you started off with like silly little Elgato videos and editing on Elgato, etc, or like then editing that kind of stuff. What made you want to get into like content creation?
Well, I always wanted to do YouTube at like a very young age. I was always like, I still remember always coming back from school, and there was like 2 or 3 Dutch YouTubers that I used to watch because I'm from Belgium originally. So I always wanted to watch. Always when I came back from school, I always watched YouTube, and I was always inspired from what they were doing. And so I always kind of wanted to do YouTube myself at a very young age. So yeah, and then after like watching so much YouTube over and over again, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start doing this myself. And yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
And then you started off with what kind of content?
It was mostly just like, you know, I mean, obviously as a like 10-year-old with like a little vlog camera, a little GoPro, it's just going around the house and just showing things and like jumping in a pool or like doing a backflip on a trampoline and then like editing it with like a bunch of explosions and whatever, just like funny shit. But yeah, I don't think I still have those files. I should actually look for them. But yeah,
because you don't even get to see the OG Toony Studios.
Nah, I don't.
So it was always its name.
There was a transition though.
Oh, gone.
Yeah. It was always there was a transition between like the whole like filming around the house and filming myself, and then between gaming. That was a big transition. Because I still remember I didn't have any recording software. So what I would do is I would place my GoPro in front of my monitor and I would just hit record on the monitor and start playing the game so you could see the monitor. So I was just basically recording my monitor because I didn't know about like recording software at that time, and that's how I started like making my first Minecraft videos.
Don't worry about it. On an old channel called Boy Gamer 909, there's literally so I used to record 15-minute videos because that's all it would allow on my BlackBerry. I had like a table, I'd lean it up against like maybe like a piece of tissue or something, and I'd record the TV screen with a BlackBerry, and that was how I made my videos as well, like 9 years ago. So don't worry about it.
I think we all started like that, dude. Especially, I mean, now obviously it's different because now it's like recording software is so normalized. Like it only takes like 2 seconds on like a phone or something to download that. But you know, back then it's a bit more difficult.
I think it's honestly like I think it's also just the age, right? I mean, being younger, you don't really think about that all that, and especially like in my household,
exactly.
I wasn't even really allowed to do that. Like I remember when I did it, my mum and dad were like, okay, you can do this, but you're not allowed to like use your voice. Then in the second video I did, I decided to talk in it. That's how my household kind of works. It was like,
I remember it was the same thing here. It was like, yeah, no, don't film anything around the house. You're not uploading this to YouTube. It was like, okay, cool. And then I remember because I wasn't allowed to upload anything to YouTube. No, like so these videos were never uploaded to YouTube. I made a makeshift website on Word.
What?
So what I did is so I really wanted to do YouTube, and so what I did is I had a Word document, and I don't know if anyone here knows who's watching the podcast, but in Word you can have like text and you can link it to like files, so it'll bring you to the file. So what I'd do is I'd create like makeshift thumbnails and just put them above it, and then have like a title, right? And then have it be a clickable like link in a way, but then once you clicked it, it would link you to the file on my computer. So only people who would come visit me in real life, like family, nephews, nieces, who would come visit me in real life, I'd just show them the Word document and be like, yeah guys, this is my YouTube page, click on any video you want, it'll open it up in like the folder and everything. So that was like my way of making like my first ever YouTube channel.
I respect that though, to be fair. Like since young you always had that dedication to do something more, and I mean it paid off. I mean, exactly. Like for instance with me, I just stopped doing YouTube. I think I was uploading. Yeah, so like so my journey is weird. So I obviously had that channel, then I stopped, and then I had like another channel which I won't reveal the name of, and I did that for a little while until I got bullied in year 7. So like that's when I was like 13 for it. And so because of it, then I stopped until year 11. So when I was like 16ish, and I bought the Insane Orbits channel to life, and then now that's kind of just gone. and InsideMC's a thing, so it's worked out.
Yeah, it works out in the end.
You're on it today, yeah, so you know something, man, right?
Yeah, it's something. That's the thing, like if you have a goal in mind and you really want to achieve that goal, like you'll do anything. Like I said, like with the Word document, like that's so far out of reach. Like when I tell that story to people, they're like, what? Like they don't believe it because it's so far out of reach. Like yeah, it's just if you really want to do something, you literally do anything to get what you want. So that's kind of
and then that's exactly what you did with, you know, growing yourself in the editing department.
Yeah,
like, why did that so poorly? Editing department, what's wrong with me? Why have I said it like that?
Editing department, video editing. Yeah. It started out well with editing for friends, and then eventually it led to me and eventually editing for Skeppy.
I mean, before we talk about that more so, let's talk about your YouTube channel. So you made your first ever video, and it's why I bring it up specifically. You made a Skywars PvP montage, Neffex fights back. So a fun little lore fact for you here, so don't worry, you don't need to be embarrassed because I got you. I also made montages like back on like when I was a Bedrock Edition content creator, which is why I'm part, like, I guess my old self is getting all giddy at the idea of like being something so big on Bedrock. That's why I mentioned at the start of the podcast. But
oh yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm giddy about the whole Bedrock bit, because I used to be a Bedrock content creator. That's why 3 years ago I wanted that. But I made like little montages, like Neffex montages. I sent someone a link of an old unlisted video of mine that has 100,000 views that teaches you how to speed bridge. And at the end of it, there is a 3-minute segment of me I made a Neffex montage of me speed bridging. Which on Bedrock Edition, you have to look down, hold right click, and that's it. That's you speed bridging. You just have to sprint forward. And I made a bloody montage about it. So I just found it funny that I made that content, and so have you with Neffex. It's so cool.
With Neffex especially as well, so specific. That's insane. That's insane.
Well, it was copyright free, that's why.
Exactly, yeah. Neffex was like the only guy who had like a copyright free music that was good for montages at that time.
The go.
Damn, that's insane. But yeah, no, it started out doing montages, and then after it started to be more like challenge type videos.
And then you made so many different videos with like the hiding as ghosts in Minecraft. You obviously it showed your face in the videos, which you have much longer hair now, I must say, as far as I remember correctly.
I've never shown my face in any of the videos.
Wait, so
I think the video you're referring to, is it the how I became editor for Aurora Light?
No, hiding
that's
ghosts
Aurora
in
Light.
Minecraft hide and seek. Oh, someone's using their face cam. It's not you. Sorry, I just hovered over the video and it showed someone's face cam. That's what I was thinking, because I was like, no, the other videos have it, but that makes sense. Okay, apologies. There is someone's face in there. That isn't you. Hopefully I haven't leaked what you look like.
It looks like an entirely different person. What is this?
Yeah, okay, but to be
wow,
fair,
you've really changed.
We had, I mean, but that was what, 8 months ago? People can change in 8 months, right?
True. Right. Yeah. Totally different ethnicity and everything, of course.
Well, I hovered over the video. I can't see it properly. I just see some dude wearing a hat. Okay?
Yeah.
Leave me be. I'm sorry, okay? But you made like so many different videos with the how you said about the challenge ones. But like one that stands out because of it being a video about editing. 2 years ago, you became the editor for Aurora Light.
Yes.
You mentioned about them being partner Twitch, streamer, all that kind of jazz. Was that your first main editing gig?
Kind of, yeah. So that started out, I found Aurora Light on Twitch, and it first started out because I didn't, at that time, I wasn't like really like a video editor, like at a professional level or anything at that point. It was just like, doing it for friends, doing it for myself here and there. So I actually initially DM'd him to ask for like if he wanted to collaborate with me on just like making a Minecraft video. And so he in that video as well, I said he would DM me back, and then I waited for like 2 or 3 days and never got a response. And then fast forward like I think a few months or so, I started doing more video editing, and I kind of stopped doing content for myself and but mainly for myself. I still edited for other people obviously, and that's when I like kind of made the transition. And then I went on Twitch to look for people who I could potentially video edit for, and then his name popped up again, and I was like, hold on a second, I messaged this guy before, maybe he still remembers my name, maybe I have a better chance of reaching out to this guy. And so I reached out a second time to him through Discord, watching his stream, and he was like, yeah, maybe I have something to send you, and I'll send it to you. If I have footage, it'll be like a short, because at the time he did a lot of TikTok things, he wasn't really a long form creator. And so I made my first TikTok for him, and I still remember I was very excited. I was in my room, I was jumping around, I still remember I was messaging everyone. I was like, yo dude, guys, you have to check this out. This is like this partner Twitch streamer who's messaged me back and who wants me to edit for them. Like it was such like it was crazy. So remember my initial reaction to it.
I get you though with the whole like that whole feeling, because for instance with like podcast guests, and when I'm happy to admit, like when 2 years ago I got Anvenom on when the podcast was still from Bedrock Edition, and I was like, oh my god, like this has landed. I also got a reply from a YouTuber who, in the end, it kind of turned out good that they didn't come on the podcast. I won't get into it, but they like accepted, and I replied to them like, "Oh my!" I was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much!" And then I like wrote this big thing, and then they just ignored me.
It's so crazy because damn,
they they never responded.
That sucks.
But the initial reply, because I was a big fan of their content at the time, and once again, that's why I won't get into it. But I just don't want to like dox who it was. Like reveal who it was. Sorry, but you know, I know like back then, as opposed to now, I like considering how far we've both come. I can imagine in your sense and in my sense that I still get happy obviously when I get someone called on, like when I got Captain Sparkles on, I was like, wait, this is real. But I don't become a like, fan.
Congratulations,
kind of thing.
Yeah. No, obviously, yeah. At that time, it was just like, you know, first ever like contact with like, especially because he was Discord partner as well. Like every single time he'd send me a message, like you would see when I click on his account, like a little badge he had, like a Discord partner badge. It was just so mundane to me. Like the fact that I'm talking to this big streamer at the time, like 33,000 followers on Twitch. It was just like, I don't know. That was just insane. I mean, so sometimes still to this day when I get friend requested by certain people, or I friend requested people like ages ago and then they accept it, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like how? Like they added me, huh? Like still to this day, it's kind of like unreal, but it's kind of like obviously calmed down now, like, you know. But yeah, at that time, I'm literally a kid editing for you know for those streamers. So it was kind of insane, kind of nuts.
As more time goes on, you essentially become more chill about everything.
Exactly, yeah. You realize that, you know, obviously, I mean, I feel like that's pretty always like, you know, they're people, right? It's not like they're anything special. As well as like once you start talking to them, especially in VC, I'll get to this more in a bit with Skeppy especially, is like sometimes people on stream and our stream, they're just two completely different people, and they're just like you really like realize it's like, oh wait a second, this is just like a chill dude, like you're, you know.
I completely agree. I mean, it's kind of the same with me. I'm not sure if you notice the difference. A few people have. I don't intentionally do it all the time. It kind of just happens. But like podcast voices come on, but like I sound a little bit different as opposed to when I'm on stream. Like I'm just chill talking.
Yeah. I have noticed that a little bit. Yeah.
But I'm very chill on stream. The only difference with stream is I would be a lot more chill, but I also just don't want to like. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about things. Nothing negative, just a lot of thoughts. But a lot of it I can't say on stream purely for the fact of it being on stream publicly. But with that, like I'm chill on stream, but even off camera, I'm more like. I mean, we talked, which I'll get into a little bit later on in person.
On stream or yeah, we did. I mean, on stream or in content, you're always like. I mean, ideally, hopefully, you're always just yourself, but like a more exaggerated version of yourself, right?
I think in my case, and that's why it's a little bit different, is instead of a more exaggerated version of myself, I'm a less talk about shit. Like I'm very, very chill and I'm very, very real, but I don't talk as much as I do to like someone I'm close with behind the scenes. There you go. That's like the best way I can work.
That makes sense.
Without,
that makes sense.
Without getting points confused, essentially.
Yeah, I think for me it is just like being a more exaggerated version, being like a more hyped version, a little bit louder version.
Yeah, I could do that, and like I used to, but then I realized
it's tiring.
Like, it's tiring, it's long, and if I want to keep streaming for long, I'd rather establish myself as a. Let me just go live. Like yesterday, I was just doing parkour, and I was like, "This is the stream for 2 hours. Like you're here because you want to hear me talk. Like you're not getting anything crazy from the stream. Listen to me yap, and that's it." And like, and although it's not gonna make me be really, really big with streaming, a certain part of my audience loves the idea of me just going, "Yeah, I'm hitting go live. I'm talking. You listen or you don't."
It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, for me, whenever I go live, I always like I'm stressed. Always stressed. I'm always like, okay, shit, what could go wrong? What could not go wrong? Like I'm trying to perfect everything into like the slightest bit, which also isn't good because it means you're a perfectionist. It is like there's still videos that I have in like my catalog that just haven't been uploaded, that are fully edited, that are like good videos. When I show them to people, they're like, yo, this is like your best video. Why is this not uploaded? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't really like it. It's like being a perfectionist. It's like, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's kind of the opposite. For me, I'm like, oh, everything has to be perfect. Like nothing can go wrong, which isn't necessarily good, but you know.
I don't think it's a horrible thing. I mean, everyone does things differently, right? Like I've said it before, that I really want the internal biz quality to be increased. I just can't really be able to do it right now because I just don't see the point of it. As opposed to like the casting that I did on Saturday, MC Mayhem with AJ, the quality of that was amazing. We had different POVs, we had this, we had that, and I was like so proud of that. But that's because I actually put the work in to do so. But with like that whole idea of like being a perfectionist, I don't think it's a problem. It's kind of what I am with the podcast in a sense. Like I'm wanting to I mean, I announced that it's become studios today because I'm always wanting to make sure like it's high quality, or I'm constantly doing stuff, and people have said it to me like, maybe you're putting a bit too much on your plate. But I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how much I'm putting on my plate.
Yeah.
Although it can sometimes be a part tiring, I guess that falls under perfectionist as well in a sense.
Yeah, it's good. It's like a thin line between, obviously you need to be a little bit of a perfectionist, because if you don't care at all, you're just gonna produce, like trash content. If you don't care at all and you're just producing to produce, it's not gonna be, good. But if you, there's a thin line between like over perfectionism, being like, okay, every single detail, every cut has to be like on the exact frame and on the exact like there is no breathing allowed in this video. Like every single breath has to be cut out, and like there's a thin line obviously in between them. I feel like I have to step back and just kind of start more being more chill with certain things. But yeah, it's definitely not a bad thing, that's for sure.
I mean, I do that with the podcast. I cut out all the silent parts as I did you beforehand. That's like the only part like perfectionist I do. But podcast editing is easy. It's just time consuming. It's so long.
Oh yeah, man. You have to sit through like an hour and just watch the whole thing back. Meanwhile, you've just recorded the whole thing. That's why like editing your own stuff, that's also just such a pain in the ass.
A lot of people don't like listening to their own voice, they've said, but I've kind of just gotten used to it where I don't really mind now. Plus, I kind of just zone out. Like,
really?
I know. I've just remembered the parts of like, okay, that needs to be cut out. If anything needs to be cut out, and I'm just kind of editing the audio file as opposed to the audio itself. But I'm still listening. I'm just like in my own little world, not doing it. I don't know. It works for me, so
that's good. Yeah. Now I've always had, especially with like the few, like I think like the past year, I've just not been. I don't know what happened. I've just not been able to like look or edit my own things anymore, because it's just so, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people listening to this who aren't editors, who aren't content creators, probably won't understand. But it is like, for the people who are, they'll definitely understand. It's like listening to your own voice and watching your own content so much different than just watching someone else's content. So there was a good period of time where I like sketched out all of the money that I was making with video editing, and I was like, okay, how much of this can I use and reinvest into an editor for myself, and have that editor just work for me, and then I edit for someone else. Okay. So it was like, yeah. And then when I tell it to people, they're like, you're crazy. Like, you have the skills to edit. Just edit your own videos. Why would you edit for someone else and then use that money and reinvest it into an editor? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But to me, it makes sense, because just listening to your own voice is just weird. I don't know.
I edit the podcast, obviously, like I mentioned there, but I have like with the videos, the more basic, not basic videos, but the more like specific videos, I have to edit them. That's purely like, I probably could edit them myself because it's not my audio, but it's just so much easier if I have someone like pay someone to do it because of time constraints. It works out.
Yeah.
But I'm in a fortunate position
exactly.
where the people who edit for me, they're willing to do it for like a little bit cheaper. Understandable of the position I'm in with. I am paying for everything with my IRL job as opposed to podcast money. So
yeah, I mean, one thing that's also good with having other people edit it is that certain things. And that's also a thing. Certain things in the video, whereas other people who don't know those things may have a different view on it. And that different view is either going to make it so that the cuts that they do or the editing that they do is very good because they have a different view on certain things, and their view might be better than yours, or it might be bad because you know what you want, and therefore it's whatever someone else is going to do is not going to be what you had in mind. So
exactly. So throughout the whole editing period, then when did you become an editor for Skeppy?
So I think about like 1.5 years ago, I became an editor for Skeppy, since I've been working for him for 1.5 years now.
How did that come to be?
I was streaming on Twitch, and at the time I was done streaming. I don't know what. I think I was streaming Bed Wars, and I finished my stream, and I was gonna look for someone to raid, and I saw that Skeppy's friend PDL was live streaming, and so I raided PDL because obviously I've seen him in a few Skeppy videos. I was like, hey, this guy's cool, I'll raid him, and I raided PDL. And after that, me and PDL, after the raid, we just kind of started talking, and we talked a lot about like development and plugins and stuff. He helped me with plugins. I talked to him about like video editing and stuff. We kind of became friends through that. We recorded a lot of videos together as well, which sadly none of those are uploaded because I am a perfectionist. But we became friends, and then after a while, PDL told me that Skeppy was looking for an editor, and he was like, yo, I know you do editing. Is it okay if I tell Skeppy that like, yo, I know someone, and like give your portfolio or like links to Skeppy? I was like, yeah, sure. That's I mean, that's obviously I tried playing it cool. I was like, yeah, sure. Like when I like heard that news, when PDL messaged me that, I was in school, right? So I was in school. I got that text message of like, "Yo, Skeppy is looking for editors. Like, am I good to go send your portfolio or your YouTube or just like links of stuff that you've done to Skeppy?" Because I remember I was failing so many classes at school, and I had to go to like an extra class. And while going to the extra class, I was like, "Fuck this class, bro! I don't need this shit. You know, I'm gonna be the editor for Skeppy." Yeah, like fuck this. So I still remember I was again extremely happy. But obviously he said as well, like, "Yo, I don't know. Like, don't be too excited yet. Like, I don't know. Like, he might have already found someone. He might not like it. Like, you know, we don't know." So my expectations weren't too high at the time. And then I think like 1 or 2 weeks go by and I don't hear anything. Right. So at this point, I'm just like, shit, you know, probably won't be anything. It's fine. Yeah, you know, just kind of, yeah, it's fine. And then I played in a Skeppy event, and uploaded that as a short, which I'm pretty sure that's my most viewed short to this day. It's the I played in a Skeppy event one, and I uploaded it as a short, and I was like, yeah, this might be fun. This might be a good little short, good wee short to upload. And then like 2 or 3 days go by again, and then all of a sudden it is very late at night. I have to go back to sleep for school, and I get a notification on my phone that says Skeppy commented on your video with just like a smiley face, right? Just like the double dot and then like the bracket, just smiley face. And I'm like, wait, no shot, this is the real Skeppy, right? And I go check on my phone, and I'm like, no shot. And I check the comments, I'm like, holy shit. And I see the check mark, I check it, like I click it, and I'm like, no way, this is him. And again, right? So I had to go around the house, I'm like, mom, you don't understand, Skeppy commented on my video, like this is huge. And so I was like, I don't know, I was very excited. But at the time still, I completely forgot that the whole editing offer was going on. So I thought he just saw the video and he just commented and that was it. And so I go to sleep. The next day I wake up and I get a notification from PDL saying, check your friend requests, or I get a notification from PDL saying, accept Skeppy's friend request. And I'm like, what? No shot. And so, cause like ages ago, I sent like so many content creators friend requests. It turns out that he had accepted my friend request by trying to send me a friend request. So I just get the notification of like, Skeppy accepted your friend request, and I was like, no way. And I go to like check his thing, and his bio, and obviously it was linked and everything, so it was the real account.
Well, you'd already sent him a friend request. You should have known that anyways.
I should have, yeah, but I went to check anyway, and then I was like, it was sick, because yeah, obviously, as well, this is something that I left out of the story. I've been watching Skeppy at this point for like years. Like I was a big Skeppy fan. Like I was actually like a big Skeppy fan. In a way, my childhood hero, if I can say that. And so for him to have added me back on Discord was so huge. And then yeah, he sent me after a while, because then again it took like 2 or 3 days before he responded to my text message. And so it was very slow in the beginning. I was like, this is not gonna be anything, and I was stressed. And every day I was like, you know, waking up and being like, oh, has he responded? Has he not responded? What should I say? Should I tag him? Should I not tag him? Am I being too pushy? Am I not being too pushy? It's been 3 days. Like, what do I do? But after a while, he was like, you have a video. Are you up for it? And yeah, and then he sent the video. That's when I edited my first Skeppy video. So yeah.
Jeez, and you've been a full time? Because he has like 2 or 3 editors, right?
Yeah, he has like 4 editors, I'm pretty sure.
So how often do you edit the video? So is it like all 4 work on one video?
It is no, so it is like individual. Just like we don't like editors don't really work together as much. It's just, you know, it depends really. Sometimes it can be like multiple weeks. Sometimes it can be 1 week. Sometimes it can be like for a month. It is like very on and off. But yeah, sometimes there will be like a week where it's just like every single day there'll be a video, and then there's a week where there's only 1 video. Sometimes there's a week where there's no videos. It's very on and off.
It just depends.
Yeah.
What is, and I don't know if you're fine to reveal what ones you've edited, but if you can, what is your favorite video that you've edited so far? Of like anyone, even if it's a Skeppy video, if it's just any type video that you've done for someone else, we'll say specifically.
I think it has to be. Oh, that's a good question, actually. I don't know, actually. Damn, you hit me with a very good question here. It might be one of the more recent ones, which was a month ago, and that one is the I trapped 15 YouTubers in the largest Find the Button event video that Skeppy did. It is a video where, as the title reads, 15 YouTubers. I had to edit 15 POVs of a bunch of different YouTubers like Dr. Donut, Bablu, Baba Hello, Lilith Loves Ya.
That's one of the most recent videos, no?
It's a month ago.
Yeah, so one of the most recent ones. So I count that.
One of the most recent recent ones. Yeah. So that's one that I'm very, very happy about. Also, because I did the thumbnail for that. So, because I'm also doing thumbnails for Skeppy. So
that was an amazing video as well. You did an amazing job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What about how many in a year and a half then have you done?
Ooh, that's also a good question. I think it is sitting at like. Actually, I think I might be able to check this. I'm not entirely sure if I still have that on my YT jobs. I'm not sure if I do. I think these are all of them. But it's gonna be, if I had to guess, probably be around like 36, 35-ish.
Oh crap, you've done a lot then.
Yeah.
I've always had like kind of editors do like videos for me. I you know what, actually I'm gonna ask you a question just for content creators here, and once again feel free to either like not answer this or answer it in any way you want. So throughout the years I've had like a few different editors edit for me, right? And they all have different kind of like price ranges. Or how I normally do it is every time like someone goes, oh, like, you know, what price, I'm like, they kind of just give me one and I'll rock with it. And I think like 99% of the time I've just said yes to anyone despite the price. But like I've had like one editor one time who didn't do like a crazy big job but then charged me a lot. What is like, not you specifically, but just for content creators looking to like, I guess, commission editors with the right or like the fair amount of money, what would you say is like average? Once again, a tough question to answer, so no pressure in any way.
The average, I mean, it really depends on how much footage we're being given and how much work there is to do.
One POV 20-minute video, we'll say that, why not?
20-minute as in 20-minute has to be cut down to 20-minute, or 20-minute footage is being given?
20-minute cut down from 1 hour.
From 1 hour.
Yeah.
What, like, how heavy does effects need to be? Is it like Mr. Beast style? Is it like just cuts, not in L's? Just
some transitions, some animations, or not animations. You get the idea. Not highly edited, just a few.
I would say if it is an hour of footage has to be cut down to 20 minutes. Usually, for my standards at least, that's like 300 to 350.
Jeez, okay. Yeah. I'm very fortunate with my current editors. Then they're very understanding. I mean, I've always said it to be fair. Like, I wish I could pay them more, and I've always said I wish I could, but right now it's just I don't. But also,
it also very, very much depends on what you've done in the past. So, like, if you're just starting out, you're not going to be able to charge that. If it's like your first editing gig, like, no way you're going to be able to charge that. But if you've worked for big names, exactly, yeah. If you've worked for big names, like, you can charge more.
It's literally, and as much as a lot of people might not like this is true, it's pay by experience. You're going to earn more the more experience you have, and you're more likely to get a job. So, and that's why you did like a good thing at the start there, which I wanted to touch back on, is, and a lot of people don't realize this, is like sometimes, and I said this the other day, sometimes you have to work for free to, you know, have stuff going.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to do that free. Oh, I don't want to do that for free because, you know, I want to earn money from it. But the more free gigs you do, the more likely you are to build your CV. People are going to look out and see that, and then you're more likely to get paid or like start earning money from it.
Absolutely. The first year, and I won't mention which creator it was for, but for like a solid year, I had to edit for someone and they didn't pay me anything, and I had to and it was like videos every single day, sometimes multiple a day, and didn't pay me anything whatsoever. It was all free. But it was able to grow my portfolio strong enough to get the editing jobs that I had now. But yeah, I'm not gonna mention his name because I want him to like get dogged for it or anything. But
yeah, I mean, don't like screw yourself over or anything. Just like if you have a friend that you're close with and they need help with editing a video, to be like, oh, you know, I want to get paid, but I'm not going to charge you loads, or here, I'll do this one for free because I want to build up my like CV a little bit, just a little bit here and there. Or don't. I mean, it's completely your choice. But the way you're going to start getting paid or start any more money is if you actually have something in the background to be like, look, this is what I can do. Yeah,
like if you have to be very fortunate to start out editing and immediately have like be paid for it. Like most editors are probably gonna have to at least edit for like a month or so free. A year for free is insane. Like, don't ever, like, I had to do that. I had to go through that. Pain in the rear end. Don't do that. But yeah, it's I mean, a year is that's on the long side. But yeah, most editors are gonna have to edit, like, you know, for a month or so for free if you're starting out more often.
Don't get mugged off, just gain experience. There you go.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the moral of the story.
Do you have anything else to talk about regarding editing then that you wanted to bring up? Or
it's a funny story about the first video that I did for Skeppy. The first ever video that I did for him, he sent me the footage and he was like, yeah, I need this by like, I don't know, it was like the end of the week. So it was like, I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 days I think I had time to do it. And he sent me everything and I was like, yo, cool. Is there any specific music you want me to use? And then he sent me back. Skeppy was like, no, like if you can just do the cuts and send me back, then we can see, you know, what we do with it. And then, you know, depending on, you know, if you can do the cuts very well, then we'll slowly move to like, you know, full vids. Unless you feel confident enough to do a full video by the end of this week. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm doing the whole video. And so exactly, I want to show off a little bit. And so I did the whole video, which was in the time frame insane. I think I put like 2 or 1 all-nighter, at least 1 all-nighter, and just spent editing, revision here, revision there, and just like trying to perfect it in the best way possible. And even I still remember with music was such a pain in the ass to do because I didn't have a catalog of music by that time. I didn't know like what music do I use, what music does he usually use. So the best idea I had was, okay, I'm gonna check Skeppy videos, right? Whichever song that I like in the Skeppy video, I'm going to try to somehow take that song and put it in the one that I'm editing. But obviously Skeppy's talking over it, you can't just cut that out. So what I did is I used to download like the full length videos of those, you know, of Skeppy and other YouTubers that I knew had good music. And what I would then do is I would go into an editing software, cut those songs that I wanted to use. Obviously at this time still with like both like talking and music, because there's no way to separate that. And then I would take those like snippets of where the songs are being used in that video. I would put it in an AI generator who would remove the vocals and keep the soundtrack. And then I would Shazam the soundtrack through my headphones to see if or through like my headphones through my speaker to see what song it is. Then I would search up the song, then download the song, and then use it. So it took me like a solid like 5 to 10 minutes to find out a name or to use one song in a Skeppy video. But I did it just because I was like, this is a good little thing I can do to really impress him, because it's like, damn, you even use the same music as, you know, I do in my videos.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really
so then I sent him the full video, fully edited video, and he was like, yo, this is sick. Like, for a first video, obviously there's a few cuts that can be better, there's a few improvements to be made, but for a first video, this is really good. I'm very happy with this. So.
You really stepped up on it, mad, see? And from all that experience that you gained, it paid off, sorry.
Hell yeah, exactly.
There you go, shit. Do you have any advice for anyone looking to, obviously other than the ones we mentioned, so we don't want to parrot it too much, like with the whole experience and stuff, but in regards to editing or anything, do you have any advice for people looking to get better, looking to get the name out there? Even if you do want to, even if you don't want to repeat something, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the best thing that you can do is probably use like social media. Obviously, organic growth is the best way to do it right now. Have a Twitter account. Promote that Twitter account with, like, you know, show your work off. That's the biggest thing, is you have to show your work off. You can't just say that you're doing this and this. People have to see and have to like actually know that what you're doing is good, and the only way of doing that is to show off your work. So obviously, like TikTok, YouTube, Twitter are all platforms that you should be using to show off your content on. And yeah, and reaching out, just a lot of reaching out to creators. Like, you can reach out to very big creators, very small creators, reach out to like pretty much anyone of any size, because you never know who's going to respond. Maybe there is a big creator looking for work, and maybe they'll respond, and maybe you'll get work through that way. But yeah, just really showing off and being dedicated as well. That's the biggest thing. So yeah.
There you go. As of recently, you started getting back into streaming.
Yes, this is true.
You stream over on Twitch.com, and something relating to Twitch is actually how we started interacting.
Yes, TwitchCon, dude. TwitchCon, Rotterdam, 2024.
How did that even fully come to be? I think I remember it, but I want to hear your POV before I get into mine.
I think we were at the community meetup for Minecraft, I reckon. There was like a little venue at the back of TwitchCon where it was community meetups, and it was a Minecraft community meetup that I wanted to go to. And I think that's where I saw you, and you were standing with one other person. I can't remember his name. You were standing with one other person, and then I think I introduced myself first, or maybe you introduced yourself. But then you told me that you were running a podcast and everything, and that's how we got to know each other. I think that's how it went.
I have a different story. Not to say
Really?
you're wrong, maybe your one's right, but I guess I just remember it differently. So it was at the community meetup, and you were talking to certainly Laz, and I had this like ongoing bit. Every single time I saw Laz, I'd go up to him and say hi. So I went up to him and I said hi, and I was like, oh, sorry to interrupt. And so I was like, no, it's okay. We're talking about like content and stuff. And I said, oh, nice to meet you. And so I was like this is Toony, and then they said, oh, this is Orbis. They do like edit. They run InsideMC, and he was like, oh, hi. And I was like, hi. And then we were chatting about like
I remember. Yeah.
He said you do like stuff for Skeppy and stuff, and I was like, oh, cool. And then we got talking. I was like, I mean, if you're ever interested in coming on a podcast, feel free.
Yeah.
And then we just started chatting randomly. The thing is, though, like our talk was so natural, like it wasn't forced. It just I kind of came over and then we just started talking
natural.
away. Obviously, I can't remember our phone conversation, but I was just like, wait, this actually feels really good to talk about. And I was like, you know what, they're gonna be good to come on the podcast because I made the joke about needing business cards. I was told that I need a business card.
Oh, we were chatting. Yeah, I remember that we were chatting about business cards. I still remember this. I should have taken business cards. Yeah. I still remember that. Yeah. And then I think did we talk ever so slightly at the after party? I'm not sure. We may have, or we may have.
I think I said hi.
No, we talked after that.
We bumped into each other a few times, but it wasn't like anything crazy.
Yeah. And then here we are on the podcast. Who would have guessed?
Having a full-on conversation, interviewing you. What the heck? how was TwitchCon for you?
Insane. TwitchCon was very fun. I like TwitchCon. There wasn't as much as I would like to have done at TwitchCon itself. Like there wasn't like many activities. It was more so that I went for just meeting people and meeting friends and like going out with them. I think I would have wished that there was like more actual activities or more things to do at TwitchCon. But other than that, I really enjoyed TwitchCon. I'm very happy that I went.
The issue with TwitchCon, I've always said, is you go for the people, you don't go for the convention. And the convention itself is pretty crap. But
very true. Yeah, if you go for the convention alone, you don't have anyone there that you're gonna meet. It's a bit. I mean, yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's worth it.
But yeah, what about streaming then? What made you get into it more? I think it's a return to streaming, right? So what made you get into it more?
Yeah, I think a lot of role models, a lot of friends at the time, and just me realizing that like, hey, obviously I'm doing the editing, but I've always wanted to do YouTube myself. Like that's also how I started editing, right? So I said in the beginning as well. Like I always wanted to do YouTube, and I was like, hey, I'm not really getting that much work for Skeppy. Like I have a lot of free time still. Why not just use that free time and just get back into content myself? Because it is something that I really do still want to do and hopefully grow into my own community at some point. So that's when I was like, you know what? And especially after TwitchCon and being around so many streamers, I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna stream as well now. So trying to keep that up, trying to keep that consistent.
Why did you decide to go to TwitchCon? Actually, I was meant to ask. Sorry.
Well, I went to TwitchCon because my mom is a moderator for MCC. And so yeah.
Do you mind can I ask who?
Sparrow. Okay.
What? Your mum is Sparrow? Oh
yes,
my god, I love Sparrow. What?
Wait, do you want her to come say hi?
if she wants to, yeah. I think she's modding for CPK right now, though. See you?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know.
Wait, okay, hold on. I'll give the headset. Hold on. All right. There you go. Wait, there you go.
Hello?
Hello.
What?
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh
Hi,
God.
it's me. Yeah, it's so funny when people find out, though.
Oh, poor Toony didn't even get reserved seating, but you did.
I did. Yeah,
but Toony didn't.
He didn't. But he didn't even really come to the MCC show either. He was just walking around the floor and networking and whatever. So yeah.
What?
But I'm gonna put him back on because I'm actually moderating CPK and Owen at the moment. So I'm gonna put him back on.
No worries. Lovely speaking with you.
Okay, yeah, lovely speaking with you as well. Bye.
Bye. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm back.
What the heck? What, are you in the same room?
Is that the
right
first
now,
time
then?
that's happened to the podcast? Yeah.
You just chill in the same room. You're just recording the podcast while they moderate.
Pretty much, yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that. No, that's the first time that's happened. Sorry, yeah. That's...
That's
cool. Oh my god,
so that's why
amazing. Amazing. I'm always saying hi to them and stuff. I want to bring them in. I've loaded up CPK's chat. I'm going to ping them and wave. Wait, why they're not showing up? Why are they not showing up? Oh, well, it's fine. I don't know.
I thought you knew this.
No, I didn't. I didn't know. That's so funny though. What?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you learn something new every day.
Exactly.
But would you have went if they didn't go?
Honestly, I don't think so. Because at first I was kind of like, you know, a lot of money to spend. I don't know, do I want to go? But I'm very happy that I did end up going because it was very good. Because the reason why I didn't want to go initially, or I wanted to go, but then this changed my mind later, is because I was going to go with a friend originally, but he canceled. So I was like, shit, now I'm going to go there and I have no one there. There was like only one person there that I knew. So I was like, I'm going to go here and there is nobody that I know. I'm like, what am I going to do? But I did end up going. And obviously I met that one person then that I knew. I stuck with him for like 2 days basically. And then obviously I you and everyone. I don't think you know. His name is My Name's Midas. He's a Twitch streamer as well.
Sadly, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm laughing. Sorry, I'm still going on about the thing. That's so cool. Meeting you at TwitchCon was so cool, and I'm glad we interacted as well. And hopefully, I mean, I've lurked in a few of streams. Sadly, you stream at a time when I'm mainly editing the podcast, so I just lurk as opposed to talk. But even in a few of mine, you showed the Disney Channel one, which was not Disney Channel, Disney. Oh, do you know a fun fact about that podcast? Actually,
Yes.
That stream. Sorry, I'm now going to Disneyland Paris at one point because
really.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what, I want to go. I won't say what day I'm going because I don't want to, I don't want to show up and be like, yo. But yeah, it's just very funny.
You should tell me after though. Maybe I can arrange something. I can pop in or something for a day. I don't know.
Well, we're going for like a day and like a half a day and a day. It's really weird. Like we're going in the morning, coming back in the next day evening, and I'm going with my girlfriend. So I mean, it'd be a bit complicated because as much as it'd be cool. I mean, next time I go to, what if you don't mind sharing, what country are you living in?
I live in Belgium.
Do you live close to Brussels?
Relatively close.
Because like a Eurostar, I can find a Eurostar for like £34. It takes me into Brussels. So maybe one day I might just rock up and be like, yo.
Maybe. Who knows?
We can meet. I know, we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna like promise anything. If not, I'm sure you'll go to TwitchCon next year anyways, the two of you. So.
Oh, totally, 100%. Yeah.
And you have more contacts now as well. See, look at you go. You should definitely have a business card next year.
Hopefully by that time, partner. Who knows?
And just keep grinding. You do. Your streams are so good. So
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope the podcast takes off to some extreme level as well. I hope that the podcast goes well as well.
We'll see what happens. You're currently doing a viewer SMP. Do you plan to do any other types of streams?
Yeah. So currently I have a viewer SMP running, which is taking quite a lot of time, a lot of effort. But I do plan on also just streaming other things, maybe other games as well. Not just Minecraft, but we'll see. For right now, it's just a viewer SMP. But maybe I'll get back into like streaming more. Obviously, I've streamed a lot of MCC Island as well. Maybe I'll do a few streams like that in the future. But yeah, I also want to focus more on YouTube. I think that's my main priority right now, besides streaming the viewer SMP. Getting back into YouTube.
There we go. Exciting times for Toony Studio and
hell yes.
It's Toony Studios. I was gonna see it through and say Studios, but I was like, wait, no, is it Toony Studio? Toony Studios. I've actually just I announced today from recording the podcast that InsideMC has been rebranded to InsideMC Studios on Twitter. So look, now we're Twitter.
Really? Oh, hell yeah.
Well, we're doing so much more than just podcasts.
Studios? That's right.
We're doing so much more than just the podcast now, so it doesn't make sense to have the Twitter handle as podcast when we're uploading different types of videos. We're doing casting, we're doing this, we're doing that. So I decided, and there's another announcement coming out tomorrow from recording this. So I was like,
can you not claim to tag MC Inside without anything?
InsideMC's taken, and MC Inside would just be so confusing. It's the sad part. So. Otherwise, I would have just rebranded to just InsideMC, and I just wouldn't have announced anything. But Studios works for now. It's better than podcast, so we'll see how it goes.
Hell yeah, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to see where you take it.
With that being said, then that sadly brings the end of. I mean, unless you have anything else you wanted to talk about, do you thought I was going to bring up? Or have we done a pretty good job of covering everything?
I think we've covered everything. I think what could be cool, and what I think you should do with more people, is get them back back on, like in a year time from now, and see where they're at now, and see have they grown, like have they fallen off, like what's happened. I think that could be cool. I don't know if you have done that, but
and Venom came back on after 2 years. There's a plan for like in December to have, and it was said on the podcast, it's fine. Ruth from back on, maybe now with TwitchCon. So there's like a few ideas. However, like obviously I want to constantly get new guests on, so it might be like a 2-year thing, because I feel like it's a lot can change in a year. I think a lot more can change in 2 years.
Much can change more. Yeah,
I think it's
well. Hey, if I'm on in 2 years after, I hope by that time I'm a creator myself. That's
you're a creator.
Right,
you're just because you're not like massive or pulling loads and loads of views or whatever, you're still a content creator. And I said this, like how I see content creation as such a weird, like not really weird, but to a lot of people possibly so, is like even though you're in quotation marks just an editor, you're still making content, right? You're still a content creator. You're just not a content creator for yourself. You don't have to make the videos to be a content creator, but if you're editing them, I think that still counts. But that's just how I see it. So
I appreciate that. Yeah.
But yeah, before I do the outro here, then please promote yourself. Where can people find you? You're anywhere they want to look for you. Where can they find you?
Anywhere would just be at Toony Studios. That's TOONY Studios. Literally on anywhere. YouTube, which is Toony Studios Live. So just Toony Studios, but with live after it. And yeah, Insta, TikTok, Twitch, everywhere, just Toony Studios.
There we go. And thank you so much for joining me today. This has been an amazing talk. And
thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
And when you come back on in 2 or 3 years' time, we'll have lots more to talk about. So
I hope so.
Keep up the content creation.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Keep up the podcast and the InsideMC. I'm very excited to see what you guys do with it.
Thank you. With that being said, that sadly brings the end of this week's InsideMC. Thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Pieces.